Chapter 7 Angela's POV 3.89% OR 65 vouchers the next morning. I woke up to an unfamiliar silence. Normally Maya would be away. I wondered why she wasn't. I looked around, my eyes squinting at the unfamiliar room. That's when everything from yesterday came crashing down. The move out, the words, the fact that Ethan didn't defend me, the carnival. And most importantly, Liam. I stood up slowly. My body aching from the exhaustion. Yesterday was one of the worst days of my life. I lost my best friend yesterday, the one person I thought I'd never lose. Well, life goes on. I entered the bathroom, putting my hair in a messy bun as I brushed my teeth. Dark circles rounded my eyes. When I finished, I looked at my stuff lying on the floor and decided to arrange them. I didn't want to face Liam yet. That text still bugged my mind, causing me to spiral, but I held myself down. I opened the door to the walk-in closet and my jaw literally dropped. Holy fuck, I muttered. This place was huge. Like literally. Did Liam make a mistake and give me the master's suite instead? After arranging my clothes, I discovered that it didn't even dent the room. The space my clothes took was so small, the entire closet felt like a waste. I take a shower slowly, the hot water cascading down my back, but doing little to calm my aching heart. When I dried my hair, I wore an oversized t-shirt and sleep shorts. For a minute, was self-conscious of the way I looked, but after deciding I didn't care, I walked out of my room and entered the hallway. It wasn't a joke when I said that Liam's place was huge. It was even bigger than Ethan's. I looked around but I didn't see him. His room was just a few doors from mine. Liam, are you there? No response. Maybe he was still sleeping. I didn't want to wake him. I wondered if there was food here. At my words, my stomach growled as I chuckled. Sorry for neglecting you, let's get you food. I headed to the kitchen and turned to the door. I half expected Liam to waltz into the kitchen and make a comment of how I was raiding his fridge, but there was nothing. Seriously, where the hell was the man? I didn't dwell much on it. I was honestly very hungry. As I raided the fridge, I saw eggs and bread with milk. That shit I got started on making toast with scrambled eggs. I needed energy after starving for almost the entire day yesterday. When I was done, I plated my food and sat on the kitchen counter. I ate slowly, my mind drifting. I had a shift in a few hours at Ethan's father's company. It was a job he had helped me get with the excuse that he didn't want me working somewhere else. And his father had agreed, seeing that I was Ethan's best friend plus I was damn good at my job. But that wasn't the problem. What I didn't want was to see him today. I could take up Liam's offer to get a new job, but I refused to be another charity case. Besides, I needed the job to pay rent. I couldn't let Liam think that I wanted to leech off his resources. I still had to contribute to the house too. I wasn't going to watch him buy groceries and restock the fridge while I just sat and watched. I couldn't afford to quit the job. Not now. Maybe in the future. I groaned. Couldn't Ethan just disappear from my mind? But I knew the answer to that question. I'd loved him for years. That kind of love is hard to forget. After breakfast, Liam was still a no-show. I washed the plates and kept some eggs and toast for him. Then, I started the coffee maker and walked to his room. His room door was slightly open when I got there. 1/15/23 Friday, January 23, DGG Chapter 7 SAR. 0.19% 65 vouchers I wanted to turn back. But what if something had happened to HN? Against my better judgment, I pushed the door slowly. My hands reached to knock. Liam. Are you in there? I thought to check on you. Plus, I mail breakfast. No answer. I pushed the door open and froze. There, sprawled across the bed, was Liam. But it wasn't him that made me pause. It was the sight of him. He was sleeping soundly, his blanket pushed to the edge, face down on the bed, wearing just black boxers. Nothing else. I felt my mouth go dry at the sight. Liam's back had a dragon tattoo. The man was utterly gorgeous. This was the reason he was a playboy. He looked this good while he was sleeping. What happened when he actually put in effort to look good? I snapped out of my thoughts immediately. I could feel the heat on my cheeks. I realized I'd been ogling him. I backed out of the room quietly and quickly, careful not to wake him. He wouldn't let me hear the end of it if he saw me here. I couldn't let that happen. I closed the door quietly. When I reached the hallway, I froze, pressing my hands to my burning cheeks. Get it together, Angie, I told myself, forcing my feet to move. I got to my room, sat on my bed, my mind replaying Liam's almost naked body. If he had just turned, then I would have seen. Stop thinking about it. I whispered as I pinched myself. I needed to get some air. I immediately entered the closet and chose an outfit for work. Then, I styled my hair. I loved its wavy texture, so I left it that way, just adding lotion to the hair. I gathered the rest of my things I'd need for the day and left the apartment, grateful for the escape. My cheeks were still pink, but I'd say it was blush. I didn't wear makeup, but I doubted no one would notice me. But, even as I walked, my mind didn't leave Liam's body, and I knew, this will be a long couple of months. 2 halves AD comment send gift no ads Archer. Share novel and remove ads. Share novels to remove ads.